Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options in Play video update. So we are about to enter the busiest stretch of earnings for the quarter. The next 3 weeks really going to be slammed in terms of big names reporting pretty much every single day. You guys obviously know that I put together those earnings on the radar videos each week, kind of talking about some of the big names that I'm watching, what's priced in, what I'm looking for, etc. Right? But there's also a lot of names I don't talk about, and I'm sure there's a lot of names reporting that maybe you guys follow that I don't talk about. So I still think that it's worth putting in a little bit extra time, right? Doing some research, checking out the calendar, seeing what's coming up, because a lot of like my earnings trades do do kind of get set up usually a few days ahead of time. So I kind of start lining things up. I mean, sometimes I do enter options a few days ahead of time, but I can sometimes look at like sympathy plays, right? So sometimes like I'll open options at the beginning of the week because I see that there's maybe like three or four big names in a specific sector reporting that one company doesn't. So I might get into some options earlier in the week, trying to like ride those multiple catalysts, right? So having an idea of what's coming up on the calendar for me is like really important. Now, when it comes to like ramp into the report type trades, which is something you know that I like to do, there's two things I look for, right? So it's well, the ramp into report setup specifically is a strong stock and a strong sector and an overall strong tape. So we don't have many of those. There are some strong stocks, so like Netflix has shown relative strength. Tech sector or communication sector not strong, and the overall market is not strong. So this has one of the three, and the reason why I think it could still maybe work as a ramp to report because it rolled into big support, right? Had a decent quarter, enthusiasm's high, the stock showed relative strength for the last 2 to 3 months. So it wouldn't surprise me if the overall market bounced, if Netflix bounced too. But there's other ways that options can work potentially ahead of an earnings play, even if the stock doesn't move higher, right? Expansion of implied volatility. So some stocks like a Netflix or a Snap, some of the names reported next week, there's obviously a ton of attention on those names every single day, but there's a lot of stocks that don't get as much attention and therefore probably don't get as much volume, right? So as they come up closer to their report date, you might see the interest start picking up, right? You might see the volume start picking up, and what does that do? That can oftentimes lead to the implied volatility starting to expand, right? As people start to put money on calls or puts, kind of like playing the option, playing the earnings release, you might start to see that implied volatility start to expand. So even if the stock doesn't have a huge move, some of these names that fly under the radar a bit might start to see that implied volatility expansion as we get closer to the earnings report because of that increased participation. Okay, so that's something like again that I'm looking for as well because there are so many different names reporting every single day, and yeah, some are really closely followed, but there's a lot that aren't closely followed that historically can be really volatile. So that's why I think doing that little extra work, compiling a list of what's coming up, the certain dates, the names reporting that date, right? It could kind of help you we can put you in a good position come earnings season, and whether that's planning ahead of time or just the day of, so you're not like scrambling to see who's reporting and what to do. Kind of just gives you a clearer frame of mind to really like operate when it gets super busy. Okay, so tomorrow things really get going with the banks, and then after that it's just bam, 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 like right through the end of October. So it should be a busy stretch here. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading events with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options in play. Have a fantastic night, stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.